The Open Window is a short story that proves a quiet room can become more frightening than a haunted house. Saki does not need a monster, a murder, or a storm. He needs only one visitor, one clever girl, and one open window. The result is a miniature classic about nerves, imagination, and how easily a believable story can take control of a stranger. The visitor is Frampton Nuttall, a man sent to the countryside to rest his nerves. He enters the Sappleton house already fragile, polite, and unsure of himself. That matters because the story is not only about deception. It is about the kind of person who can be deceived, someone anxious enough to search every detail for danger. Before Mrs. Sappleton arrives, Frampton is left with Vera, a young girl who seems calm, observant, and harmless. Vera notices him quickly. She understands that he knows almost nothing about the family. In that tiny opening, she creates her whole performance. She does not shout or exaggerate. She speaks like someone telling a private tragedy. Vera explains that the open window is kept that way because Mrs. Sappleton still expects her husband and brothers to return from a hunting trip. According to Vera, they vanished years ago in the marshes. Their bodies were never found. The details are ordinary enough to feel true: the coat, the dog, the song, the route home. When Mrs. Sappleton enters, she talks cheerfully about the men returning soon. To her, this is normal. To Frampton, now trapped inside Vera's story, it sounds like madness. Saki lets the comedy become suspense because the reader understands both levels at once. We know a social visit is happening, but we feel the pressure of a ghost story forming around it. Then the men appear outside the window, walking back across the lawn. For Mrs. Sappleton, they are simply home from hunting. For Frampton, they are the dead returning exactly as Vera described. He panics and runs from the house. The open window has become a stage, and Vera's lie has used real life as its final proof. The genius of the ending is that Vera immediately invents another story to explain Frampton's escape. This time she claims he was terrified of dogs. The lie arrives so fast that we understand her true talent. She is not merely a child playing a trick. She is an artist of improvisation, building fiction from whatever the room gives her. The meaning of the open window is sharper than a simple prank. Saki shows how social politeness can make people vulnerable, how anxiety can turn ordinary facts into terror, and how storytelling itself can be a weapon. The window is open, but the real opening is in Frampton's mind. Vera finds it, steps through it, and leaves him running. The story also works because it respects the reader's intelligence. Saki gives us enough information to suspect Vera, but not so much that the trick feels mechanical. Her details are precise, but not overloaded. The missing men, the white coat, the spaniel, and the open window all sound like pieces of memory. That is why Frampton accepts them. Mrs. Sappleton is important because she unknowingly completes the illusion. She is not part of Vera's trick, which makes her ordinary conversation far more convincing. When she says the men will be home soon, Frampton hears grief and delusion. The reader hears normal family routine. The same words carry two meanings at once. That double meaning is the engine of the comedy. Frampton is trapped in one version of reality while everyone else lives in another. Saki lets us watch the collision approach. The closer the men come to the window, the more ridiculous and frightening the misunderstanding becomes. It is a ghost story built from social embarrassment. For students and readers, the open window is a useful example of irony, unreliable storytelling, and the power of framing. Nothing supernatural has to happen because Vera controls the interpretation of what happens. Saki's final joke is that fiction does not stay on the page. In the right mouth, at the right moment, it changes what people see. This episode is supported by Bookspace, a place for people who love books to discover new titles and connect with readers who share similar taste. If classic twists, strange rooms, and clever stories keep you reading, Bookspace helps the next book find you.